Today's the day! We are going to list all of this fabric, hopefully. Is this the stupidest intro I've ever done? Yes! Stick around and let's see how long this takes me. This is such a dumb idea. Yep, I really hope I stayed still long enough for that thumbnail. For the record, don't do that. But how did we get here? A little over a year ago, I drove myself to South Carolina to buy out an entire dressmaker sale that closed in 1981. We might have a problem. And from that journey, I hauled all of it back here to Central Florida. Oh no. Oh no, this is a bad plan. This is a bad plan. And have been selling it ever since. Well, this pile of stuff behind me and about 2 bins of fabric that I've already had to go through and throw out at least 3 bags of fabric because it was absolutely rotted. That's all that's left of the fabric, at least. And so, in true YouTuber form, if I don't make a video on it, it's not going to happen. So I challenged myself to see how fast I can list all of this fabric. And for full transparency, I do want to note that photographs and measurements have already been taken. This took approximately 15 hours to do. That is 3 days, 5 hours each, with so many photographs by the wonderful Tina. And so my task now that she has done her part is to list it all. And I will be listing all of them on my website, backroomfinds.com, where you can find all of my vintage goodies, sewing patterns, notions, fabrics, and occasionally a bedsheet or two if it looks good enough. So let's get listing. My computer's over there, in case you're curious. So now I am fully equipped with my notebook from Tina that has all the lovely notes about the measurements, and my website so that I can list them all. Is this going to be easy to do? No! That's why we're timing ourselves, because it is currently 11:40 and I want to see how fast I can get this done. And the timer starts now. I should go. But I also want you to see, so I'm gonna post it up here. First up, finding the page that Tina left me. Fabric photos, brilliant. And then gray with navy turquoise / plaid. Oh, that's loose fabric. I want to start with the bolted fabric. Okay, just kidding. I think this is going to be easier to just pull one and find it, she says, hoping. Because I have rearranged this stack behind me quite a few times now, so it's definitely not gonna go in order, unfortunately. What bolt are you on? Are on a Belding Corticelli, sweater rib knit gray medium. Wait a minute.
Light bulb.
Okay, just kidding. We won't start with the blue one. We'll start with the one that I actually just found in the notebook, which is the one I used for marshmallows with K9, which is still one of my favorite projects I've ever done. Please go watch that video when you're done here. So, I used about I think I cut about a ½ yard off of this. Yeah, there's still 3 yards on here because y'all taught me that you count every 2 loops. 1, 2, 3, and then there's a little bit of change here, which is totally fine. So this is 3 yards for this gray sweater knit that I used on Marshmallow's costume. Okay, and it's definitely a double knit. Can guarantee. Double knit. And honestly, it doesn't really matter which one I duplicate at this point because none of them are gonna be exact. Gray, sweater, knit, polyester double knit fabric by the yard. It's not a copy, and I certainly do not need the same media. And then Tina left me a note that says this is 64 inches wide and there are 3 yards, yes. And I always put the note in here, sold by the yard. And I make sure to have the BTY up here as well so that you on the other end know that it's sold by the yard. And it tells me when I'm selling it to not accidentally send you the whole thing. Both Tina and I are pretty sure this is a rebolt, so we're gonna do maker is unknown. Sometimes we get style numbers, definitely not. Stretch. So stretch, we've got 2-way, yes. Oh, it's 4-way, so it goes both directions. Hot diggity darn. 4-way stretch. It's not super thick. Stiffer fabric, scratchy. 'Cause yeah, it is. And because Tina is amazing, she always puts the number of the photos that I'm looking for into the thing so that I don't have to hunt quite as hard. 3641 through 3645, boop. And now I never lead with the bolt photo. That's really just for reference for me so that if I forget which one it's on, I have a prayer of a chance of finding it. So we move all that, start with the swirl, go to this side, double checking everything. My category is fabric. Pricing $6.95. Yeah, that feels about right. Polyester fabric, double knit. It is not yellow. It is not 54. So it is extra wide fabric. 64-inch wide fabric. And then down here, where I have my available, I have 3 yards. So we go 1, 2, 3. Save. And unfortunately, yes, these are quite heavy per yard. So 10 ounces is actually correct. The number of times I've sent 3 yards of something to someone that's been over 2 pounds is just wild to me. And all of that is looking good. Oops. Got to make our sales channels active here. That's how I deactivate things when the website gets a little too empty looking. So we're going to click save, but I am going to leave this in draft mode because, as I always do, at the end of this video, everything will then become live. So this video will launch 30 minutes later. All the fabrics will be live from this endeavor, because that's what this is going to be, an endeavor. So I'm going to leave them all in draft mode until I'm ready to push publish. And with that one done, only about like 75 more. So I should get moving. So actually on this next one showcases a little bit of the difficulty that we had with this fabric. Some of these solids really don't want to photograph the color they actually are. So in this case in particular, you can see I have a wide range of colors that are occurring here until we get to the actual correct one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag that to the front. I'm going to delete the 2 very atrocious ones because those are just wrong. That's so purple. That's so not the right color. So I'm actually going to make a note to myself to take one more flat lay photo of this because it just doesn't look right. And it's not Tina's fault. This just happens sometimes. It happens to me too. So we're not mad. We just want to make sure that the colors are at least as right as we can possibly make them. And I'm going to set this one over to my left so that I know that it's a problem child. But we at least have the draft, so that's good. Let's do the wool next. Oh, listen, I don't like wool, and this is especially like that scratchier kind of wool. What type of moth holes do we have in you, my friend? Any? Nothing that I'm seeing blatantly, which is good. At one point, someone was selling this for $22.50 a yard. Dang. I don't think I'll be selling it for that. But that's because I would like the wool out of my house. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who needs a gym? I do. I need a gym. This is ooh, this is a nice sweater knit. Okay. Just got some good spring. And it's soft. We love that. Holy crap, this stuff is so wide. It really is. It is 72 inches wide. Wowzers. And there is so much of it. 9 yards. It was wound by Debbie Reinhardt. How freaking cute is that? Oh, good job, Debbie. Good job. Just a little quick check-in here. It has been 42 minutes. I have gotten done 8 bolts. So I did some math. I know, rogue, we don't usually do that on this channel, but here's my post-it note proof. Yes, indeed, I did do the maths. So that means that took me about 5 minutes and 15 seconds per bolt. That's so long. And then I went and all the rest of those. To wit, I have 66 bolts left, which means I started out with 74. Is there one hidden in there to get me a nice even 75 so my brain is happy? I don't know, we're gonna find out. So you take those 66 bolts and you times that by the 5 minutes and 15 seconds that I am currently averaging listing this. That takes us to 5.77 hours, which means it's going to take me another 5 hours and 46 minutes just to do the ones behind me. And that doesn't even count the fabric pieces. This is why I needed a video to do this. I'm gonna go get some lunch, and I will be back to keep going.
A few moments later.
And we're back. So I have now eaten some lunch, gotten some caffeine, and had a little bit of chocolate, and now it's time to keep going. Yes, I did doom scroll on TikTok for about an hour or two, but you know, that's neither here nor there. The important thing is, let's see how far my energy can get me today before I completely burn out. Nothing.
I hope you're hungry for nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Oh, you're purple. Okay, great. Let's send in a purple. That sounds like a great one. Okay, that was 2 solid hours of just straight listing. And while I did get some accomplished, I did not get nearly as much as I had hoped for before my brain checked out and went, "We're done!"
And I'm spent.
So I think let's try this again, but with some help. Hey look, now it's gonna go so much faster. But for real, it is going to go so much faster because now we have a game plan. Tina, in her loveliness, is going to be taking all of the notebook and putting it all in, ignoring which fabric it is. She is just going to notebook type. I, however, am going to be taking care of finding the photo images, which are all listed already because Tina is amazing. Then I will find the fabric, which, good luck. And then I will go about my double checks as far as like stains and damages, anything that I see. And then our powers combined, we will hopefully get this done in not another 6 hours. So let's get going. Hurrah! And the timer starts now. Okay, I don't think you fully understand sometimes how hard it is to get these photos. I give you what it took to get this photo. I had to make sure that these hats, fabric, this blue thing, and that orange thing were all in frame so I could get a vaguely decent color. The things I do for you. Also, sorry, I forgot to put my mic on. Why are you so washed out? Blech. All right, it's been about 52 minutes, and I only just now got done getting the photos from the ones that I noticed yesterday. So my hole here is totally empty. I am good to keep moving forward, but that took a lot longer because, listen, taking photographs of solid color fabrics is not fun. It is not fun. That's just all I have to say about that. But we got the first round done, so let's keep going. Okay, another solid 2 hours of working on this. And Tina and I have gotten, at the same time, more and less than I thought was possible, but it's fine. It's fine. It's no one's fault. I just keep forgetting how tedious this is to get this all done. But it is now time for some very tasty lunch before we come back at it for just a little bit longer.
A few moments later.
Hello. Lunch did not reset anything. Still very brain fried. So unfortunately, the best you're going to get is for this next 90-minute segment that we're going to push on through. I'm just going to give you a top-down shot from the top of my bookcase, and that's what we're going to go with. So send me strength, coffee, and, I don't know, energy, chocolate, you pick, to get me through this next section. The hair is herring. So it has now been 5 hours and 15 minutes total of listing, and oh boy, I am seeing things cross-eyed at this point. My brain feels like it's smooth. You have a smooth brain.
You have a smooth brain.
We did pretty good, honestly. All that's done. That's what's left. But man, oh man, I hope y'all are ready for this because it's going to be a lot of solid color fabrics. Well, we shall see you tomorrow for more listing.
The next day.
Good morning. It is day 3 of listing all of the bolts. And listen, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you, y'all. I'm tired. I had forgotten how hard it is to list just this much fabric all at once. But upside is we are 57 bolts in, and that means out of 74, I can do math, 27 left?
Wrong.
So hopefully today we'll be done with the bolts. But unfortunately that doesn't talk about all the piles of fabric that are also left from all the bins. But oh well. One step at a time. How many bolts is it, Tina?
18.
Cool.
Yeah.
I can do math, I swear. Hi, hello. It is almost 8 hours from top to bottom of working on this. No, I did not do it for 8 hours straight before someone comes for me. We clocked in at 7 hours and 55 minutes to list all 75 bolts. And honestly, that's not bad. Do I vaguely wish that there were like multiples of these bolts so that all of this work would turn into like exponential? Yeah, sure. Is that the truth of a vintage seller? No, it's not. And the secondary consequences, even as we were finishing this up, we realized that we had missed one, so we had to relist that one. And then we realized that there's so many that are just labeled almost the exact same because they're all solid colors. So we are going to have to do a quick like inventory A1 through 9, B1 through 9 situation so that we can just keep track of them. But my brain is toast. And we haven't even started doing all of the little cuts yet. So I think I'm going to call it for today, and we will see you anon when all of the cuts are done, because I think y'all have had enough of the time lapses. And that is how you list 117 new listings of fabric. How long did it take? If I'm being honest, we sort of at points forgot to time it, so I'm going to have to do an approximation that the first 15 hours was just measuring and photographing, the next 8.5 hours was just listing it all, finding the photos, making sure everything's described correctly. There was an hour of organization, and then probably another full 8 hours of cutting, photographing, and listing all of the pieces that I definitely forgot to time. So my bad. So if we're going for roundabouts, it took me 31.5 hours with the help of not one, but 2 other people to get this done. So if you have seen any of the fabric that you enjoy, or if you just want to go see all of the lovely options, please head to backroomfinds.com. They will go live at 4:30 today. Because somehow I managed to cram 80 gigs full of video into this less than a half-hour video. So we're figuring it out. And I do want to thank you all so much for continuing to patronize my business, because without you, there wouldn't be this. And thank you so much for continuing to come back and watch my videos and shop with me. But until next time, friends, we will see you around while you're sewing in chaos. Bye. And that is how you list 100 and I just forgot how many. 16? Shit, it's over there.